The preseason for me, I've railed on it for years, and more, it's teams want to play less and less. It seems like.
There's still some evaluation that needs to happen. I think more positions are open than Ryan Pauls would like to admit. But
You think
I think
so?
more positions are open. Your starting punter, does he kick tonight?
I don't know the answer to that. He's a starter. I have no idea, nor do I care.
Does your starting punter kick tonight?
I have no idea. And I could not. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything in this universe I could care about less than if the punter punts or kicks tonight.
To be honest with you, as a player, I thought the whole preseason was a waste of time. As a player. But if I was a coach, I'd be using this time a whole lot wiser than the Chicago Bears do. But as a player, I hated it.
It's funny how much pushback we get on it, too, not just from fans, but from media people. And, the general stance seems to be you'd be insane to play any of your starters in a game like this. I don't know that I quite understand that. I don't think it makes or breaks anything.
If the choices are I play a guy and he's absolutely getting hurt, or I play the guy and he gets experience, I'd rather not play the guy and keep him healthy.
Well, sure.
But now he's not prepared to go into the regular season.
I just
and anybody that tells you that they are prepared to go into the regular season, I already know what I'm going to be hearing, the echo chamber that's going to be happening on opening day. Well, it's early. We're not quite there yet. You're not quite there yet. Why? Because you didn't take the preseason serious.
I think that's just the new reality of the NFL. I've talked about this for a couple of years now because you can see it in the play in September. I'm telling you, Jurk, I don't know. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm telling you how it is. And you get that same tone and tenor when you read the way the preseason and coach's decision to not play players is reported about. You're feeling it from the way the organization is portraying this. There is very little value and almost in their minds no incentive into playing the guys that you're going to rely on most. Now the guys battling for backup spots and special teams and to make the back end of the roster, obviously it's much more important and it is much more critical, but most coaches don't want to invest too much in terms of their starters playing time into the preseason. And when you talk about, I hear what they're going to say in September, that's what they're going to say. We see the way football is played in September.
But not every team will be saying it.
I think a lot of them will.
Not every team will. Only those that adopt the Foles philosophy. They're the ones that will be saying it. Secondly, I will fix the preseason for you.
Get rid of it?
When they go to 20 games, there is no preseason.
Just get rid of it.
17 days, 3-day ramp up, 11 days of practice, 3-day ramp down, getting ready for the regular season when you kick it into Labor Day Monday. That's
going to be the new reality.
That's your preseason. 17 days. Nobody goes to camp before August 13th. Nobody goes to camp before August 13th. On August 13th, everyone goes to camp. 3-11-3. Welcome to the regular season. Enough time to lose your legs, enough time to get them back, enough time to put that soreness in, and then have some recovery time going into the regular season.
If the idea is, again, in the way
I just solved it. I did it. Yeah. I'm a genius. I'm an expert.
If
Tagliabue or Goodell or Pete Rozelle or whoever the hell wants to utilize what I just said, go ahead and do it. Call it your idea. Go to the meeting and say, look what I thought of. 17 days. That's it. Nobody goes to camp before August 13th. That way my dad can celebrate his birthday in heaven.
That's nice. It sounds like you solved it the way I solved baseball scheduling issues.
Yeah,
if they don't want to listen to me, they don't want to listen to you.
What a shame.
If the idea is that there's no real reward in playing guys, you're only risking your starter's health.
Right.
I don't know why we're bothering with the preseason. I really don't.
I mean, right now it's a facade.
Just stop it already.
Yes.
It's hard enough to watch anyway, and it's really hard when.
Wait a minute. Let's pretend like the NFL owners give a rat's ass about the fans.
No,
okay,
of course.
We quit doing that instantaneously.
Yeah.
What you do is whatever you're charging for the tickets now with the BS preseason games, you just kick it into the regular season and just charge more for the tickets anyway during the regular season. At least they're trying to win during the regular season. I don't know what the hell happens during the preseason, but unfortunately, contractually, I'm obligated to watch tonight and then talk about it afterwards.
You are, but you could talk about a few things. You and Peggy can talk about a few things because there are still some things to watch for. Maybe not exactly from a personnel standpoint.
Center position, we're going to talk about. Somebody's got to play the center.
But they're not the starters not playing.
Well, which one's the starter? We haven't even established which one's the starter.
Well, that's because Nate Davis is muddying the waters.
Okay, so nobody's announced. Nobody knows who the center is going to be, and nobody really knows who the right guard is going to be.
It's a good question for Courtney. Who's the starting center tonight?
Whoever plays, and it might be Ryan Bates because Nate Davis is not there. It might be Bates and the other guy at the center position. Let's watch the two of those guys play together. Let's see if we've got anything of quality. We go to opposite Montez Sweat. There's no starter right now at the left defensive end position. With 0 starters and with guys competing for the position, I would assume all hands on deck at the left tackle or the left end position, right? Wouldn't you assume that? All hands on deck at the left end position?
No, not tonight. Well, I don't know.
Well, who's the starter? That's my
DeMarcus
point.
Walker, I think, is the starter on the other side. I wouldn't think, right?
By inception, by
inception?
Insurrection, by
definitely not insurrection.
What has put him there? What has put him there that he's a starter? He didn't do crap last year.
He was the starter last year, though.
What?
He was.
I thought Nanaki Ngakwe was.
Well, when Ngakoue was out, he started.
Yeah, no, I think Walker's
makes him the backup.
I think Walker's the starter.
Which made him the backup last year.
But I think he's the starter now.
So he comes into camp because of absence. He becomes a starter and that earns him the week off. Oh, sweet Marie, we've got problems. If there's any sort of competition at any position,
they really need to get rid of it.
They need to get in there.
I'm telling you, they really need to get rid of this preseason.
We'll see tonight. I'm not gonna wring my hands today. I'm not gonna do that. Whatever they do at the left defensive end, I'm going to be able to evaluate somebody there, right?
They're not going to somebody. They're not going to leave a hole there.
They're not going to leave it open.
Someone will be in that gap
and say nobody's going to play here. Please don't run this direction.
Right? No. There'll be a body there. There'll be a warm body.
I'll be able to look at Bagent.
Well, I was going to say the few things to look forward to.
Bagent man, secret Bagent man.
So the Bears chose not to go out in the offseason and add a veteran backup. I'm fine with that. Like Bagent, I think showed you enough last year that in case of emergency, if you need 3 or 4 games, you could do worse, I think, than Tyson Bagent. I mean, he showed some poise and an ability to command that offense a little and have an understanding of it. Look, the young man's played a ton of football. Not at the NFL level, I understand that, but a ton of football. And I think all the reps he's gotten over the years showed. So I'm okay with it. More reps for him tonight, probably better. So Bagent's something to watch. The kickoff rule. Will you see any hip drop tackles and any flags because of it?
Which right?
I think there are a few things.
Which receivers are playing? Which receivers?
Again, a question for Courtney at 2:00. Tyler Scott's going to play. Let's see if he can make the most of it.
Okay, so your 4th wide receiver will play. Will your 3rd wide receiver play? His name is Rome Odunze.
I don't know.
So does Rome Odunze play any football today? I'm assuming DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are not playing.
They will not play.
Which one of your tight ends?
Absolutely not.
Which one of your tight ends is not playing?
Cole Kmet's your starter, so he will not play.
They're going to play Everett, though?
DJ Moore will not play. Keenan Allen will not play.
We already know that. We know who the starters are.
Scott, Velus Jones, DeAndre Carter. I think all those guys are going to be...
No Odunze?
I don't know. That's a good question. Is Odunze a starter? Like, are you saying you're starting in 11 personnel and you've got 3 wide receivers on the field?
Remember what they did last year? When the starters were announced, they would announce 12 players.
They'd announce 12.
Remember that because of Claypool.
12 players because you have to cater to egos. 12 players. I'm sitting at Soldier Field and they're introducing 12 players on offense. That is not what you cannot play 12 players at any point during a game on offense.
You cannot. If we're to assume,
I concur.
I don't know. Did the Bears start a game in 11 or 12 personnel? I guess that dictates how you announce your starting lineup. If you're in 11 personnel, I would think with 3 wide receivers, I would think Rome Odunze is a starter. But they might just go with sort of very generic. No, we're in 1 tight end. 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and 2 wide receivers. And in that case, Rome Odunze is not a starter, but Gerald Everett is. You know what I'm saying? I guess it just depends on what's your first play from scrimmage look like.
When we played Detroit, they ran 4 wide receivers. Barry Sanders at the running back. They split everybody out wide. Mouse Davis. We knew who was going to start. We knew it was going to be 6 in the secondary, 1 linebacker, and 4 defensive linemen. Do you know who they introduced? The starting defensive unit, the base defense. They didn't go and make special
really?
addendums to the starting lineup depending upon what the other team was going to do. Just
So
introduced
you're
our
saying
starting defense.
you're saying a fifth and sixth defensive back were not introduced?
Not introduced. No, they introduced the regular defense.
They just introduced the regular.
Their base defense. That's it. Who's your offense? Who's your defense? Introduce them.
Yeah.
No 12 people. No special considerations for those that are ultra sensitive and have easily bruised egos. None of that stuff was going on.
Well,
the world's a simple place. Don't complicate
Jurko's right. That's crazy.
Well, it was crazy last year.
Guys.
It was crazy last year.
And who was at the helm of that?
I don't know, dude. Are we sure?
Maybe
Eberfluss.
And remember, I called him staying when they only had 3 victories. I go, he's staying. You know why he's staying? Because they're playing for him. And as long as they continue to play for him and they continue to win games, he stays. But for the heavens, Carm, lose that first game against Tennessee.
It's not going to happen.
And have no fury. Like John Yurkovich scorned.
Let me tell you, I hope it doesn't happen.
Because I'll be coming for him. Him and his golf shoes can move to Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Why Tuscaloosa?
Greenbow. Be right there with Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, Alabama.
Find out which one's smarter.
So what are you looking forward to tonight? I mean, like, seriously, Bears fans.
Football
what is
action.
it that you want to see?
It's football.
I got something good for you guys. I got one.
What is it, Chris?
Because you're going through who's going to start, who's going to play tonight. I want to see if a Shane Waldron offense looks different. Right? Like, I want to see what the offense looks like.
If we start seeing slip screens left and right.
Didn't we basically see that last year? Isn't that all we saw?
That's all we saw at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Screen right, screen left.
That's all we could make. Wide receiver screens right and left.
Sack.
And punt. I want to see Bagent execute in this new offense.
I think that, me too. Like, that's the most intriguing part of however long Bagent is in there. You know, how does he look? Does he look capable? Does he look like he did last year? Does he look like he's got even more of a command of it? And will you feel good if they have to go to him in case of emergency for a game or 2 or 3 or hopefully 4, no more than that? Because anytime you start stretching it out beyond that, we know what John Clayton used to always say about backup quarterbacks, right? And I think most of the league kind of views it the same way. You're going to be in trouble if you have to do anything more than a quarter of the season. So, yeah, let's see how that looks. What are you excited about tonight, if anything at all? Let us know. 312-332-3776. I want to talk a little bit more about the DJ Moore extension. We didn't get a ton of time to do that yesterday because we had a short show with Day Baseball on the South Side. Hey, another loss, by the way. One of these days they're going to win one, I think, but I don't know. Jurko said to me yesterday on our drive out to the Pride stores, out to their brew house facility, because we're picking a beer with them. We're creating a beer with them. Jurko said, I was dumb for making that bet. I'm going to be buying sandwiches. Then they went out and they got drilled again. I was like, Jurko, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Things are not all good over there. I mean, when you only win 27 games.
You see the look on the faces of those players?
Yeah, they're losers.
And, well, come on. I wouldn't. That's
not personal.
That's harsh.
When you lose 80-plus games and you only win 27 games, what are you? As a collective, Carm, not as individuals.
No.
As the collective, what are they? It's okay to say
the look on their faces.
Losers.
The look on their faces, it's bad.
It's not pretend or anything else.
Like they don't excel at anything. They don't really do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
The manager is lost.
Yeah.
The manager 2 nights ago is turning to a 26-year-old rookie who arrived at the stadium 4 hours before with the team riding a 15-game losing streak. And he turns to him in the 8th inning against a good team. For his first ever pitch in the big leagues, lost. Completely, totally inept.
Somebody's got to go to the mound. Somebody's got to go to the mound.
You know, I mean, and so everything they do.
You can't make chicken salad out of chicken blank.
Are they losers? I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Losers!
When you've got 27 wins and it's August 1st. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Not individuals, though, Carm, as a collective.
So I don't,
as a collective,
I don't know that it's so easily said that you will be the one buying sandwiches. And if anybody missed it, the new bet is 30 or 100.
30 or 100.
Which happens first?
30 or 100.
I mean, it is.
This is our own 30 for 100.
Right.
Wager. Not 30 for 30, 30 for 100.
All right. So let us know what you're looking forward to tonight, Bears fans, football fans. Football is back. It's not going to quite look the way we all want it to look. We got to ramp up to that, but the preseason begins tonight. We want to talk about the Hall of Fame weekend a little bit with everybody, too.
Losers!
312-332-3776. It's Carmen and Jurko. We'll be right back.